chat or sitting here watching, please remember to tip those lucky bartenders 20%. You know the rules about no droids, no bounty hunters, no Raylos, etc., la-di-da. There we are. And also hit the like button because it helps the algorithm, apparently. And I am your schedule, your chaos coordinator, your scoundrel scheduler, your Wookiee wrangler. And I'm here to talk a little bit about what to look for tomorrow at the Disney's investors meeting. So, it was very interesting on Midnight's Edge today. If you hadn't watched it, you should. Aloe vera water today. See? It appears that China, Disney's first and greatest love, may indeed ban the movies that were specifically made by Marvel for China. And it's going to be very interesting where this goes. So they've got that to worry about. Again, remember, the Disney philosophy is the movies are advertisements for the parks. Okay. So I think Shang-Chi and I can't remember what the other one's called, but they're both the Marvel Phase 4 movies may probably, Bounding into Comics talked about this, and I think Entertainment Weekly actually reported it, that those two movies may be banned in China. Why? Well, let's say like I'm an investor, I'm like, okay, why are they doing this? First off, the Chinese now have an infrastructure. I don't know about Black Widow. The Chinese now have an infrastructure where they don't need Hollywood movies. Okay. Hollywood built that infrastructure, and now they're getting screwed. Funny how that goes. And when you look at some of the things that Chinese reviewers, propaganda ministry, has been saying, it's very interesting to me because they're mostly saying that a lot of them are saying that Disney is pandering to the Chinese people, to the market there. Well, yeah, duh. They're pandering and they're fucking our movies up to pander to you people too. So if you guys don't really want them don't really want them around anymore, you know, if they don't want, you know, Hollywood to make movies for you guys anymore, it's perfectly fine because, you know, it is a huge market. If you want to make money, probably making movies that would cater to that market's a good idea. But that market doesn't want you. Okay, you're gonna have to come up with a plan B. How about making movies Americans and Western Europeans and people who actually go to movies want to see? Okay, you know, I really look at this as maybe a breakthrough with the SJW culture. Donald Glover, in fact, came out swinging and complaining about the cancel culture in Hollywood, basically saying entertainment's boring now. Because of all the Wokistanians running around. Fine. What are you going to do about it? It's going to be very interesting here on in watching to see what happens, because Hollywood's basically lost the trust of the American people and a lot of people in Western culture. You know, my husband doesn't want to go to movies where white men are being torn down for being white and male. You know, white straight males are getting pounded the shit out of them in movies like, well, the Star Wars sequel trilogy. You know, drunk deadbeat dad Han Solo, chicken shit Luke, and psychotic, sociopath, batshit crazy, patricidal, Kyle Ron. What great characterizations. You know, first two were deconstructed by Frankfurt School aficionados and Maoists. And the third one is their idea of the perfect male. And the Raylos idea. Said Raylos are about 40 years too late. They could have had Ted Bundy. They could have had Charles Manson. They could have had Richard Ramirez. You know, I mean, which, strangely enough, someone said this yesterday that Adam Driver looks like Ramirez. If they ever do a movie about him, hey, there's your actor right there, you know? But, anyway. Hi, Senator Dave. Anyway, so what we can look at is to see if the rumor is true, and I think it is because it makes sense. If the rumor is true, we'll see if either Chapek addresses it or when they do the call-ins, if one of the investors calls it. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if there is an announcement. Now there may not be, but it's almost 24 hours from now, 25 hours from now, when the call starts. Okay. Hey, Matt Piranha. So we should know in about 27 hours or so what was said, what Chapek and Iger, because they'll both be there, are thinking. I don't know, Matt Piranha. We don't, you know, with all the rumors going around, Disney might just not say anything unless someone asks specifically. We might get another, she's the bestest ever, you know, the George Steinbrenner statements about, you know, Billy Martin before Billy Martin got canned. Okay, or, you know, Packer general manager Bob Harlan talking about Lindy Infante before. He's a great coach. We really love him, and we expect him to be here for a long time. 2 weeks later, the guy's fired. Okay. That's how that works. Okay. And I don't think corporate America and movie studios are any different. Okay. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do, is that. So get ready for it, because we could either get pleasantly surprised, be stabbed in the heart again, or not have any news. And I think the not have any news is probably going to be the one that we'll get. You know, I mean, but I'm going to say this. If Doomcock is right, and as old redneck nerd said, you know, she could actually be in, which isn't, hey, Mazaris, which, you know, she could be in exile right now. Now, the thing that we have to worry about, okay, if she's already gone, we have to be concerned about who comes in, which I'm really not worried about that. I think Disney's had more than enough of this bullshit. But we have to be concerned of when and how the story group meets its demise. Tom Connors is very correct on his idea that Kennedy is one of these uninterested bosses. And she basically let the minions do whatever the fuck they wanted to. If you noticed, she never bitch slapped Pablo or any of the other story group for doing what they were doing to the fans. It wasn't until Disney got involved. Pablo squealed like the little bitch he is, and attacked the mother company, Disney. But Kennedy didn't give a shit. She didn't have no. She was uninterested. She didn't care. You know, does she hate the fans? Probably. But does she understand why the fans hate her? She doesn't have a fucking clue. Okay, not a clue. And it's true. She doesn't have a clue. All right, if she understood why, and she doesn't even understand why George Lucas is held in such a reverence by the fans. Okay, she doesn't understand Star Wars. She doesn't understand how to be a leader. Jeremy Griggs is right, where she runs and hides and lets shit go on. Okay, and then when the shit happens, she runs and she gets and they get called out for it. She runs and hides again. I'm not. I can't. I don't know. I'm like, lady, you're nuts. Okay, and you're incompetent. But you know, and here's an indication of something. Well, I think she had an inkling before that people were pissed off at her, but it didn't. It because she's so disconnected from reality, because a lot of those people are, that she had no idea just how badly she was hated until the fans showed up. Yeah, she didn't. She had absolutely no idea. You're right, Matt Piranha. But here's something I just saw. Star Wars Direct. If you're on Insta, go look it up. They moved Star Wars Celebration up to the 26th of May for next year. Okay. I don't know why. Maybe it's because, finally California will be open. Hopefully things will be semi back to business. Hopefully everybody will be able to afford it whenever gas prices decide to calm down. But that's, I think, a little bit significant. That says there's something happening. That says they really want to get the fans together. Okay, and that doesn't mean Amanda Ward and her posse of angry, SJW bitches who don't understand being a feminist. 99% of being a feminist is being able to, I don't know, take responsibility for your own behavior. How's that? You know, it's just very interesting to me how this is kind of playing out quietly. But remember that little bit of information. Go read it, remember it. Because I think, in my opinion, it's very significant that they pushed the date up. Okay. There's obviously something they want to sell. They want to get the fans back together again. They want to appear to be driving Star Wars forward. And, and also, somebody on the We Love Cara Dune Facebook page, I can't remember who it was, posted a board with the cast for Mandalorian 3, and Gina Carano is on it. And we're like, where'd you get that? And she said, I think it's actually official. But at the bottom of it, Werner Herzog's on it. His character's dead. And I want to throw that out there just because it's there. I think it's probably fake. Unless the Werner Herzog character is like a holocron or something else. But it's very interesting because I didn't see Katie Sackhoff's name on it, so I'm like, it's probably fake. Because Mandalorian 3 is, I think, going to be the liberation of the planet of Mandalore. I mean, I don't know. And it's also going to be a huge confrontation between Bo-Katan and Din Djarin. The fight that Din does not want to fight. Maybe in a flashback. I really wish I hadn't killed him off because he's... Let me explain something about Werner Herzog. He is one of the coolest, funniest, straightforward, politically incorrect guys on the planet. And I haven't laughed. If you ever want to see something funny, go look up his review of Trader Joe's. I laughed so hard reading it. I mean, and I understand the German sense of humor pretty well because, yeah, I did too. I wanted a lot more from him. Um, because I lived in Germany, I lived in Berlin, and Herzog is great. I have a friend who actually worked on the version of Nosferatu that he directed, and she said he was really funny, wickedly intelligent, and just great to work with. She said Klaus Kinski, who played Count Orlok, scared the shit out of her. That he was, I mean, frightening, creepy. Okay, that goes right into, all right, a little bit of Hollywood history and film history. That goes right into the guy that actually originated that role in the original silent 1927, I'm going to say, maybe 24, version of Nosferatu with Max Schreck playing Count Orlok. That guy was a weirdo. Yeah, well, and I agree with you, Vader fan. But we're, now so yeah, I just wanted to put that out there just because I thought it was interesting, but I don't think it's real. But I do look forward to seeing Gina there again because of what Doomcock said yesterday about her being seen on the set of Boba Fett, of what, just, how great her appearance was on the Bear Grylls show. It got the highest ratings of anybody of any of those shows, which is huge and good for her. It got her trending on Twitter. It made all the SJWs cry, which is fine by me. So we'll have to see. I am excited to see what happens here because I think they need her back. The fans want her back. Disney, in order to sell Mandalorian 3 and the Favreauverse, needs her back. Okay? And it doesn't make any sense that she wouldn't come back to me. I mean, you know, Gina doesn't seem like the kind of person to hold a grudge. The people she worked with, the cast and crew, Mandalorian, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, Carl Weathers, Pedro Pascal, they all love her. Well, I don't know. If she shows up in the book of Boba Fett, I'm going to die laughing. And I'm going to be looking at people going, what did I tell you? Yeah, and that just leads, like everybody else is saying, there's something weird going on. You've got, dipshit Pablo on Twitter attacking fans. You've got, in a subtle way, he's not being overtly. It's all very interesting to me that why would he go public again? You know, he still insists he actually still works. Oh, here's the deal. Those woke internet publications like the Mary Sue, Nerdist, they're going to go away. If we see Grogu at all, it'll be with Luke. And I don't know. I imagine Skywalker, I imagine the Rebel Alliance showing up and helping liberate Mandalore. Because they need, they'll probably need some help. I don't know, man, Piranha. That's the thing is it's very, this whole thing with her is very strange. It's almost like when they say fired, she really wasn't fired because she wasn't signed to any contract. It was a more of, we're not doing business with her anymore kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's almost like there's something weird about this whole thing. Um, because if she wasn't fired, if they just announced that they weren't going to sign her back, then we can't say she was fired. That we can talk about her being, hey, Sakori, uh, we can talk about them canceling her or attempting to, but it's almost like she, there's a plan here. It's very, it's almost like, I could almost look at this as it being a trap, you know, as if it was set up in order to get people caught in the open. I mean, it happened after Pablo, on his secure account, made a dick of himself when everybody saw. I don't know, for 40HS, that's the thing is, you can't fire somebody who doesn't work for you. You can say, I'm not doing business with them. Basically, that's what they said. The whole, that press release by a nameless source within Lucasfilm didn't say she was fired. Okay. It just said, basically, we're not doing business with. Oh yeah, I think that would be really great, to be honest. Um, but we just gotta see. Um, yeah, and the release was never official. I mean, what? Again, how could they release her when she wasn't signed to anything? Well, if Doomcock was right about the Favreau thing, I mean, he doesn't put stuff out there, you know, just to do it. If he's right that Favreau and Filoni are behind the publishing of Heart of the Jedi, that was a big, big wake up for the story group and for Disney. See what goes on? See this? This is why you fail. People want this, they don't want that. Okay? Now, you can't get Heart of the Jedi, even though I have a feeling it'll come back. But we'll have to see. In fact, Echo Base, for you guys' information, Echo Base Network is going to have Kenneth Flint, the author, on their show on Saturday night. So you're probably going to want to watch that. So it should be very, very interesting to hear him talk. I'll probably listen as much as I can. But I'll probably end up going to bed early because I've been doing that. Hey, Chris Corkum, how you doing? You know, this is, again, you guys, we don't know what's going on. It's getting kind of exciting. It's getting kind of weird. I don't want to get my hopes up. I sure don't want to get your hopes up. But I feel like we're about to, excuse me, my nose. We might be close to a resolution here. When we've got them moving up Star Wars Celebration to May 26th of next year in Anaheim. We've got all these. Heart of the Jedi came out and then just destroyed the High Republic. Tomorrow we've got the big investors call. Interesting to note, it's on Thursday. I want you guys to understand, Thursday and Friday, especially, they will make announcements on Thursdays. Oh, see, man, the books to me aren't canon, and they were never. You know, like if George Lucas, and I'm going to be brutally honest, and if OG Star Wars is listening, I'm sorry, but it's true. George Lucas never looked at the EU as canon. It was a font of good information that should have been exploited by Disney, but they were too fucking stupid to do it. All right. But they were never technically canon. So that rule would apply to anything, and I mean anything, that Disney published for Star Wars. I don't know if he hated Mara Jade or not. I mean, there are a lot of people that want to argue that point. I mean, you know, some people have this idea that, I know, Matt Piranha, some people have this idea that, you know, he wanted Mara Jade to be on the sail barge when everything went down in Return of the Jedi. I'm not seeing it because Mara Jade wasn't a character in 1982 or 1981 when he and Larry Kasdan started in earnest getting the script for Return of the Jedi written. She was added by Zahn in Heir to the Empire years later. So she wasn't a character that he would have ever thought. And the thing about it is, when I hear people say he was going to add her in the sail barge scene in Return of the in the updated editions of the movie, and I'm going, oh, why would he do that? Why would he do that? You know, but I don't know if he hated her. I don't hate Mara Jade as much as she could be a different and better character. She should have been a foundling. She could be a foundling, and I like that idea. Taken in by Han and Leia, part of the family, and as a Force-sensitive kid. And, you know, Luke, she's like literally the first Jedi he trains in his main. Oh, yeah. You know, Jedi, his first Padawan, his first apprentice. Now, and George was right. George, George is the last word, okay? Like when Kasdan was dying to kill off Han Solo, and George is like, no, we're not going to do that. And Kasdan going, well, it'll add more drama. And Kasdan and George going, I never liked movies where you got used to a character, you really liked that character, and then they killed him. Hey, Diamond's Plate. So, there you go. It's just, you know, it is what it is. And I agree with him on that. Well, you know, I would think that see, that's another thing. Do I want Leia to be a Jedi? Or do I want her to be Chancellor of the New Republic? Do I want her to be, you know, do I want her to be a mom and a wife, etc.? You know, and I think there are different ways she could have used her force powers to enhance her leadership, enhance how she read people, enhance her political talents, how she dealt with her kids, and Han at times. You know, there's something about you know, one of these days, if I ever get lucky, I'm able to ask him a candid question. I'm gonna ask him. And then when he asks why, I'm gonna say because the character deserved better. Leia deserved better. Those characters were completely destroyed. All right, by Disney and by Lucasfilm and J.J. Abrams and Larry Kasdan, whom I don't know and don't want to know, but I don't find the guy to care enough to do the right things to make it work. Because it didn't work. Okay, it did not work at all. When you walk out of a Star Wars movie and people are like this, we waited 40 years to see Han Solo. Who the fuck was that? Yeah, I agree with that about Leia too. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, who? All right, no one sat him down and said, "We need you in this entire trilogy. You're not going to be. You don't have to be here every day when we're filming. We can film all of your scenes either on the lot in Britain or here in LA. Okay? Because my idea is to have Han and Luke and Leia being retired to semi-retired. Luke's just training younglings, while the new generation of Jedi are doing what they're doing. Han is, semi-retired, messing around in the garage with an old swoop bike or something he's trying to get running. And Leia and him are they're happy. They've earned this moment of happiness. They have their kids there. They have kids who are Jedis. They have kids who aren't Jedis. And a soft handoff from them to the next generation was far more appropriate considering who they were as characters and what they all earned. And if you want to see them in action, you know, you have Han looking, sitting down next to Luke and going, I think it's time we have to saddle up and get the kids to fix this problem. I think we need to go and help. All right, duty calls one more time, and then they go off and do it. Luke shows up, green lightsaber. Han and Chewie and the Falcon. I don't understand what would have been the problem. People would have liked that, and there would have been a whole class of characters, newbies that Disney could have banked on. Jaina, Jason, Anakin, other kids, other villains. You could have had the Son of Mortis show up. Can you imagine the collectibles that Sideshow would make with the Son of Mortis? How much money Hasbro would have made with a Matt Smith Son of Mortis figure? I just, every time I think about it, I literally squee. Okay, because that character was great. And it would have been a fun character to see. Okay, you have Luke go off to find where Jason went. Jason, Leia's like, he's not dead. I feel him, he's not dead. And Luke goes to investigate and then finds him. He's on Mortis. Okay, and that happens. And there's just, you can have so much good stuff there, and they wasted it. Yeah, well, and that's the thing is if I was able to call in tomorrow and was able to ask a question, I'd basically say considering that the High Republic has been such a failure, thank you. Yeah, please tag the like button, please. Why hasn't the story group, which is headed by Pablo Hidalgo, been dealt with? They have not produced anything that has made the company money. I'm seeing my investments not doing too well because of it. It'd be very interesting to see just what Disney, just what Chapek or Iger, whoever was going to answer that question, would say. Because they have a problem with him. And I guarantee you, if Doomcock is right, Favreau has pointed at him and said, he is the villain here. Kennedy is an incompetent hack. This guy's the one doing all of it. Okay? And Yeah, and you're right, Mazeris. You're right. He did. He has said that to them, and they've been doing that. I mean, you know, Baby Yoda, Mandalorian, Cara Dune characters or figures were flying off the shelf. I got a Cara Dune figure for 90 bucks, but she's up there on my shelf. 6 inch. It's the CC card one, but still, I mean, it works in my collection. I'm we're all like waiting now. Yeah, yeah, he is. He's worm tongue, and one of these days he's gonna get his. He is going to end up earning what he earns, what he has earned from the bullshit that he's pulled. You can't escape karmic justice. You can't escape that. It will happen. And he's got to go. You know, Dakari, that's neither here nor there. I think we need to start concentrating on hashtag fire Pablo Hidalgo everywhere. Do it everywhere. You know, it is imperative that he goes because as long as he's there, I don't think Gina would come back because he's the one that caused this mess. He was the one where the Fire Gina Carano hashtag started. This is a guy who literally can't handle another person's different point of view and different opinion. He literally shits himself. I've seen him do it on Twitter before he got yelled at the first time. Okay? He can't stand reality. He can't stand being an adult. And it's intriguing as fuck to me that he has gone on as long as he has. Here's the deal. If she is on a long vacation and there's really no one in the president's office, that gives the Bobs every legitimate right to fire her or him, to go in there and clean out the story group. They can't be happy with the higher public sales. I can't imagine, Bob Chapek finding out one of the characters that they're banking on is a goddamn rock. Really? And Leox Gayasi. I mean, what the fuck? You know, they're poorly written, poorly conceived bullshit. I mean, if I was him, I'd say, no, we're not going to do that. I would say if she's gone, they do. Well, no, Pablo is on Twitter. He's back in public. I don't know why. I thought it was odd. I thought he was scared to show his face. I mean, he's there. I don't know. Maybe one of you guys could look on Twitter to see what the dipshit's been saying today. No, there's one. Troy. There's one tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern time. There's a Disney investors call at 4:30 tomorrow, and they moved up Star Wars Celebration to May 26, 2022. Okay. And we'll just have to see what happens. I really honestly believe that there is going to be some sort of resolution tomorrow to all this shit. It might go our way, it might not go our way. But they have to address some of this because, again, if George from Back Elbow, Backwater, Texas can ask, why hasn't Kathleen Kennedy been fired? Then you bet your sweet bippy BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, JP Morgan Chase, Bear Stearns, and the rest of them ask the same fucking thing. Okay? I what I would like to do if and I'm not going to go unless these people are gone. I'm not going in unless I know for a fact I'm not going to run into Brian Young, Geek Girl Diva, the piece of shit Steele Saunders, Jason Ward, who'll be there, like, you know, Amanda Ward. None of these people, and those two Raylos rewriting Ripley. And if Kennedy is gone, and it's obvious that they're going in a new direction, they won't come. The Raylos won't show up. I don't want to have to share space with them because I hate them. I fucking hate them. I hate the fact that we have to put up with their shit. I don't want to share Star Wars with people who are perfectly happy destroying what I loved about it because of their fucking stupid fan fiction ship that never should have been noticed by Disney because it's not good story writing. But they thought they could make money on it. And boy, were they disappointed. If they'd just told them to fuck off and concentrated on Rey and Finn, given Rey a proper heritage, and that I think I could stomach it. But because they had to fuck around and it wasn't a script written by one person, it was a script written by committee with a bunch of suits jumping in saying we need this and marketing assholes saying yeah but we need this. I mean, I'm literally appalled that Disney allowed this incompetence to rule. I don't know Vader fanfic. I hope she doesn't. If Doomcock is right, she doesn't. Rar, that's great. Ray Falfatine. If Doomcock is right, she doesn't. I think it's stupid. If she's a clone, and she's one of the clone, and by her accent, she's obviously a clone of Jango Fett, a female version of it, because they can engineer those clones to be anything they want them to be. I'm not worried about that. I don't, because if she has a connection to Rey, then how is she a clone of Jango Fett? Right? I mean, how is she a clone of that? It's very interesting to me. When I look at her and I watch, because I watch both, I look at her and I think, who's Pet Dakare? Who are you talking about? So I don't, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I would certainly hope that Filoni isn't trying to be. Oh, Dakari, that show's never going to happen. If Kennedy is gone, that show's never going to happen. It's just never. Don't worry about it. I wouldn't worry about it unless we hear otherwise. Well, Kathy is Kathy, and she's incompetent. She's stupid. She's basically just, I don't know why she got the job. I don't know how she was able to befriend. I don't know, Troy. I have absolutely no idea, but I do know if Doomcock is right, that Acolyte's never going to see the light of day. And I said this before, if they announce that they're not making Acolyte, uh, it, you know, we're going to hear a lot. We're going to hear a lot of hate aimed at us because we'll get blamed for it. When it's announced Kathy's leaving, she's going off to retirement to do other things, we're going to get yelled at. Okay? When it's announced that Pablo has been fired, the story group is disbanded, we're going to get yelled at. Trust me, he will come after us. Okay? He will have nothing else to do. He won't have a job. Okay? He won't, I mean, well, you could go to Michael Bay and say, can I draw Transformers for you or some shit? Because that's where he actually fucking belonged. No, it won't be missing anything because it's supposed to be attached, you may start laughing, to the High Republic. And no one wants that shit. You know, here's the deal. Do you remember when they were trying to attach Brie Larson to it? You know, now we hear that Captain Marvel 2, she's going to be phased out for Rambo, Veronica Rambo or whatever, Monica Rambo or whatever her name is. Hey Dave, how you doing? So it's like, you know, Brie Larson's done, I think, with all this. You know, she doesn't sell. I really, honestly, I think in my own heart that this is going to end up badly for a lot of these people that have caused so much trouble for Star Wars. Them and their ancillaries out there, Steel Wars, making StarWars.net, Hello Greedo, and the rest of them. You know, I mean, there are some really scummy people. You know, he is on Twitter again in public. He's got two accounts. He's got one that's secured and one that isn't. And he doesn't tweet a lot from the one that isn't, but he's still there. You know, but you know, we just gotta see what happens. And tomorrow, you know, here's the thing: we are looking at the aftermath and the beginning of the end, I think. And they all know it's coming. You know, I wasn't gonna do this, but I might as well do it because I think we should. Let's see just what dipshit's been tweeting, if he has. Do. Okay. Off. Go away. And okay, let's see. Fat angry guy, where are you? So the last he retweeted this tweet. He was on 31 minutes ago. 38 minutes ago. All right, so I'm going to show you guys this. How many of you guys are familiar with Lord of the Rings? What is this? What is he talking about? Doesn't he work on Star Wars? I'm gonna go back to this later and keep that. 2 hours ago. He just updated Star Wars Celebration. What does this mean? That's the statue outside of Lucasfilm at the Presidio in San Francisco. Ah, guys don't need to see that. Sorry. So he's just retweeting a lot of people and making really weird. Oh, Kevin, he retweeted Kevin Scott. Oh, he's worried about photoshopping Paddington Bear into Star Wars. Oh, this guy, I tell you, Bill Sozak, he's another one. This guy right here, he's got to go too. I hate that guy. I fucking hate that guy. He's, he can't keep his mouth shut. He can't keep his mouth shut. Okay, so let's visit to an old friend. Let's go back up here. We got Shock T there. So if he's not working, well, he might not be working in the office because California is so fucked up with their COVID rules. But this is the thing that really intrigues me. Why is he saying that? Why is he saying that? Anybody want to guess? Don't you work on Star Wars, you dipshit? Okay, let's see. No, I don't want that. I want to see this. Okay, and that was all attached to, yeah, he's upset about something. Let's go to his wife's account, because that'll tell us something. Man, Ray, Sky. Kay Hidalgo. So he talks to his wife on he talks to his wife they actually might have actually done the Warren thing with them. Because if you remember, the rumors about Kennedy leaving have been going on for the last 3 months. Okay? This is just, but Kay Hidalgo talks about getting more dogs, and she talks to him on his private account. Let's see missing words. Just because it's always good to see what your enemy's up to. Matt Martin. Yeah. Okay, he's not hardly tweeting at all. But he's shilling Star Wars bounty hunters. Yeah, they're I mean, I'm telling you something, man. They are chastened. They are scared. What's bingo? Yeah, well, no, he's I don't think it's his place working for Lucasfilm to be doing that. I really don't. What here's the thing about him. As much as he says he loves Star Wars, his attitude towards it is wrong because you don't attack something you love. You don't try to change something you love. I mean, darling, I love you, now change doesn't work. You know, I think what he was doing was just, I mean, he has said, I wish I could find those tweets. I swear to God, photo, I saved them, you know, but he attacked indirectly the prequels, and he was in one of them. I don't know. I think, no, they've probably been working from home. And it's really weird that that whole thing was kind of nostalgic. The whole tweet. When I'm done here, I'm going to make some photoshops and just hold them. Okay? Because I do think you guys, I do think that there's something going on because Matt Martin is very chastened. He's, retweeting Stoned Republic authors and Shitty Story Group contract authors, but, you know, you know, not attacking fans. Well, you know what? You can't really keep the Hollywood Reporter. You can't really keep the Hollywood Reporter. You're right, Jeremy. And Variety from reporting the news, and big layoffs coming to Lucasfilm with executives like him being laid off will be news. You can't. I mean, that's just what the reporters do. Is they report. That's what they report. It's the business. They report on the business, and I don't really see them not reporting it. Okay, it's very interesting to me looking at all this. How chastened they sound, how strangely nostalgic Pablo sounds. I mean, we could, like I said, I'm not gonna hold my breath, but why? What? Doomcock is on to something. Maybe not the exact truth of what's going on, but there's something definitely going on because that account would be quiet. He wouldn't be using it at all. Okay, there's a reason why he's on there. And I think probably is when it does come out is to garner support. Because you have to remember, we all know Twitter isn't real, but these fuckers live their lives on it, okay? Nah, they'll report that. They have to. Forbes will report it no matter what. Okay, Forbes will go in there and do the job. Variety will, Hollywood Reporter, Deadline Hollywood. And the reason why is because it's the business. They have to. You can't ignore it. But anyway, I'm gonna rock. I gotta go. I'm gonna get a couple of screenshots and send them to a couple of people I know and just say, Oh, Variety will try. Variety will. I don't know. I mean, somebody will ask about the woke shit, and they'll say it's fake. One of the Bobs will say it's fake, and I could care less about that, really. I mean, obviously they have something like that at that company. They have it at all companies. But they've got more to worry about than just that. Before I go, uh, prices for that hotel, $10,000 for 3 nights or 2 nights. No, no fucking way. Okay, that's gonna make people go, gee, who could afford to go there? You know, they've got that to worry about. They've got all kinds of things, and you know, anyway, I gotta go. I'm gonna get these screenshots out to some people. I'll see you guys around the galaxy. Behave, be good, and I'll be back tomorrow.